some people may fail to vote because of religious status. Is one's religious affiliation justified in their failure to vote?
Again, that's a tough decision to ask, of whether their religious affiliations should impact their vote. And I would not be the one to criticize them for not voting if their religion dictates they don't. However, I look at it almost like being in a union. People who choose to be in a union, people who choose not to be in a union, they still receive all the benefits, whether they're paying monthly dues or not. So, I guess it's the old adage, the rising tide benefit all of the boats, or rise all of the boats. And that's, again, almost like those people who use religion not to vote. It still benefits all the community. And, as voters, we do have to take the responsibility that even if those 90% of the people don't vote, we still have to be concerned about them.
So we always hear the lesser of two evils sometimes when you get two candidates and you don't really like either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So is there ever a good reason for selecting a candidate even though they might not support your political platform?
You would have to look at the whole picture, look at it holistically, not just on one issue. For example, in our Tennessee legislature, over 3,000 bills are filed each session. We're just not going to agree on every single issue. But I think that we should agree on those important issues, those things that improve our community. And if we have a candidate that we can't agree on the majority of the issues, then I would say no, don't support that candidate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So is there ever, we have voter apathy as well as complacency. So is there ever a good reason for not participating in the political process?
There's never a good reason not to vote. And sometimes I know it's challenging when we have two candidates who we feel like have not been responsive to the community. However, even when you don't vote, you're voting.
Right.
So I encourage people again to vote for every election. All elections are important. In fact, when you look at sometimes the ultra-conservative, when we look at Tennessee, there's a supermajority in the House of Representatives, a supermajority in the Senate. When you look at that track record, or even look at myself, I started as Metro Councilwoman, I started as a House of Representative, and finally as a Senate. That becomes a grooming of candidates. And when you look at the bench of those ultra-conservatives, most of them started as commissioners, as assessors in their communities, and they've been groomed to finally even run for national positions. So no, we cannot ever let apathy get in the way of us voting. Those supermajorities have not always voted to benefit our community. And when you look at when that happens continuously, time after time, then it affects the quality of life of each one of us.
Yes, it does. If you look at some of the state Senate races in Tennessee, some of those people are now U.S. congressmen, so they have
Correct.
Absolutely looked for upward mobility.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the solution as far as voter apathy? How do we address it? How do we galvanize the Gen Zs, the millennials, to let them know how important it is to vote?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got to encourage more young people to vote. We've got to talk their language, find out why they're not voting, find out something that excites them. I was really, really thrilled, not when the two Justins were expelled, Justin Jones, Representative Justin Jones, and Representative Justin Pearson from Memphis, but what I saw out in the community were young people. So I am optimistic and hopeful that when the 2024 election comes out, that those same young people will be moved to get out and vote. But I think that they saw how unjust that Tennessee legislature was to expel those young people for just violating decorum. There are many ways that they could have sent a message They'd already been taken off of their committees. Their keys had been taken. They'd been deactivated, so they couldn't get in the building. That was enough. But to expel them, to take them out of a position that their community voted for them, what I thought was just a tragedy. And we saw where most people agreed with that, because in both instances, their local government voted them back in. And the other thing I wanted to say is, I think we saw after Mr. George Floyd was killed unmercifully by law enforcement, we saw young people coming out. So again, I am optimistic that we're going to see millenniums and we're going to see young people taking an active part.